All right. Welcome to this. Hopefully this train's not too loud. Hold on. Welcome to this live stream of drawing and hanging, and we're just hanging out here with me, the Blender Grease Monkey GM Game Master. Um and today we're going to be hold on. Let me make sure I'm still set up here. All right, and today we're going to be doing some drawing. I'm going to be trying to draw a little character, a Weedle character. We're going to be using some different techniques, some different stuff here. And we're just gonna, I got some references on the bottom right here. We got some hairs, we got some legs, some glove type situation, some shoes. We got some backpack, spider-like type character. You know, um, some generic rogue looking characters, and then just some general character inspiration we got over here, which are pretty nice, pretty fun. I got these from Pinterest, and then some nanites. If I even, I don't think I'm gonna get to this point, but the references are here and different eye positions, which is pretty cool to see. I didn't even think that spiders would have different orientation of eyes, and that each and every single one of them would have like different names, and they're really hard names. Linifidie, Bisderidae, Dictrinidae. Um, so yeah, so pretty cool. These are all the references I have. I'm using PureRef, if you've ever heard of that, so I could do my reference files. Um, oh, Susan, hello. We missed you last week. I missed you last week. You weren't here, but I'm glad you're here today, and it's good to see you. Hope you had a good week or couple weeks. Hope you've been doing well. Uh, and yeah, got this new setup orientation. I can like point at the chat. This right here. Hello. Anyway, good to see you. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing character. This character is gonna be. I'm gonna start off with using like some realistic proportions, but we're gonna see if we can make it more cartoony. Not cartoony, just stylized, I should say, not cartoony. Stylized. It's a character that basically has like a backpack that kind of like Invader Zim, where he has like a backpack that has the spider arms and stuff. So it's a mixture of that, maybe like Doctor Octopus, where like the arms are like an AI, or like they're their own conscious being that helps her. They're like a partner. Her backpack, and it's maybe probably attached to her, just like this Doc. But um oh yeah, it was Easter Sunday. How was your Easter? I guess I didn't go out searching for any chocolate bunny eggs. What'd you end up doing, Susan? Oh, Ariola's time checking in. Thanks for always improving your streams. No problem. Thank you for showing up. Aurelios. Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out the proper way to go about setting up this stream. So hopefully this works a little better. I'm on the left, chat, the thing. I draw with my right hand, so everything's on the right hand side. So hopefully this works out for now. Um anyway, yes, drawing character, spider base, kind of like Doc, kind of like Invader Zim. Gotta go with realistic proportions, then try to stylize it, and then see how far we potentially go with that. Um, Yeah, and I guess that's it. So I guess let me get started. I set up mostly here, but I'm gonna set up a little further. There's a few things I want to. I'm gonna name this layer shapes because we're gonna start off with some shapes. We're also gonna bring the opacity of this way down. Like I want to be barely able to see it. And we're gonna start off a different way. So I'm gonna hold shift, and maybe I should put my screencast keys too. Oh yeah, let me. Oh, I don't have screencast keys. I'm using version 2.3, 2.93 alpha, so hopefully this doesn't crash. So let me disable things I'm not using. I'm not gonna use KidOps. I'm not gonna use machine decal. Do I have screencast keys? I do, but they're not showing up here. So these probably doesn't work with 2.93. It does not. Ooh. Oh, well, so we won't have any screencast keys. I guess you don't need it. If you have any questions, please ask. It'll be fine. Like I said, hopefully this doesn't crash. Getting on the cutting edge here. Okay, so let's take that away. I just want a clean screen here. So I'm going to take off this text info, take off annotations. And I think that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna delete these materials, and I'm gonna hold shift, and that makes sure to it gets rid of them like entirely. So hold shift, hit the minus buttons, deleting these. I'm gonna hit Control S to save. You can see that they're still listed here, but since I hit shift and I hit the minus key, if I hit open recent, which would just be the one I just opened, you'll see that they are gone now. Oh, this one's still here. So like I'm not going to be using dots. I think the dots are used for like the pencil tool. I don't know, something like that. We're not going to use it. Shift. We'll get solid stroke here. S. And then we'll open recent. Yeah, save, whatever. I guess the dots don't go away. We're gonna keep it. So I'm gonna make 4 slots here, or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm not gonna use vertex colors for this for the grease pencil. So this first one, I'm gonna make a new, and I'm gonna call it black. And I'm gonna put a number in front of it too. So I'm gonna put 00 black, right? And this black, I don't want it to be pure black. So I'm gonna put it at points, maybe 0.8. Did I say 0.8? I meant 0.2. 0.2. That looks pretty great. Never mind. We'll do 0.1. Damn, black. Does black just 0.05? But no vibrancy, it's black. So 0.05. I just don't want it to be pure black. This is like a crazy number here. 0.05. Let's see what this looks like real quick before we continue. We'll use this. We'll go to the layer that we're supposed to be on. We'll use black. Oh, and it's on stroke. I want it on fill, so an easy way to transfer colors is to put your mouse over the color and hit Control C. So I'm copying. I wish you could see the screencast keys. Maybe I should have just done it in 2.92. And then paste it. So I'm hitting Control V. Or you could just drag it in like that. Very easy. I'm going to delete that. Alright, and now I got the stroke here. Which is like really, it's still kind of gray. Right? So let me do another thing. Let me get a neutral color here. So we're gonna make this neutral. And let's go to point two on here. Okay, there you go. So now it looks dark. I guess it's all a matter of like reference, huh, of your background. So yeah, this is black. But not really. Let's make it darker. I guess 0.01. Nope. I just don't want it to look exactly black. There you go. 0.02 is a good color. Then I'll go to my next one. We'll call this 01 gray. And I don't know how you guys spell it. Gray, Grey. They're both correct. But well, how do you guys spell gray? The people who are watching, is it AY or EY? So I'm going to put the fill, and what I'm doing is I'm making a gradient. I'm making 4 steps. I'm making black, a darker gray, a lighter gray, and I'm gonna make white. So I'm gonna work with 4 values. Is what I'm trying to say here. So 4 values. This one, what was this at? This was at 0.02. Let's see. We obviously gonna put a little higher, maybe 0.1. Oopsies. 0.1. And let's see what this one looks like. All right, so we'll keep that one there. So we'll do, oh my God, no. We'll go to our next one, make a new material, make it a fill. So just rinse and repeat. We'll call this 02 gray. And you know what? I'm gonna do some consistency here. Make it capital, right? Fill. What do we do this one at? This one's at 0.1. So this one maybe like 0.3 on the value. Let's see what that looks like. Pretty cool. That's a 3rd value, and then our 4th value, which will be you know, maybe we should do 03 and we'll call it white. And maybe this number scheme doesn't work. Maybe it should be 00 black, 00 white, and then 1 gray, 2 gray, so we know the differences of the gray. But yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. So we'll hit stroke, and then we'll do, you know, what is the background color at right now? The background is at 0.2, so maybe 0.5. I think this is just what we did right now. And now we got our white. So this is our four colors that we are using. And how we're gonna start building out our shapes, so we could start building out this character. I put these lines here just so I have some reference points on where this should go, because this is also a bit of a practice for me. Normally I want to visualize these lines without drawing them, visualize like the box that she's in and stuff, but you know, it's okay. We could just do some practice here. So I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go into this, hit tab, select all of these. I guess just for my reference, just so I can have them here, I'm going to make a little palette. So let me make this, make another layer, put it down, call it palette. I don't know how you spell palette. P-A-L-L-E-T-T, P-A-L-E-T-T-E, palette. I think that's it. Maybe that's wrong. I'm also gonna name this ZZ, just so I know that they're like out of my way. This is just my own scheme that I do here. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a palette. I'm going to do go to draw mode, and then I'm just gonna make a couple. I'm gonna make some circles here. So I'm holding Shift and Alt, and then I'm dragging Shift Alt drag. So making a little circle there, and then I'm gonna go to edit mode, hit tab, select the circle. I'm gonna hit Shift D, press X, and then slide it over, and then I'm going to select both of them. Shift D, press X, and now we have our 4 colors here. Maybe this one should be a little closer. GX. There we go. And then I'm going to rotate this on the Y, 90. I think that's what it is. We're going to bring this into the corner. This is just for me to be able to see this. And then we're going to go to draw mode by hitting tab again. You can always go on the top left here. And then I'm going to go to the materials, right? I'm going to go back to edit mode. Then I can start selecting these. So if I select this one, I can assign materials to it. So I'll hit black, click on black, hit assign. Then we got black. I'll assign this one gray. We'll select the next one. We'll do that gray too. And then, you know, white, which it already was white. There we go. So now we have our palette on the top right. And I also made these lines green. They're kind of distracting now, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna tint those. Those are made with vertex color. So when you go to draw, I will go to tint, and then I'm gonna make the tint, you know, just black or something. Oh, and now I want to go into our layers and make sure I lock it. So lock these layers. So I'm locking my palette. I'm locking my reference. I'm not unlocking my reference so that I can color these black. You can't see them because if you go into the opacity, I had them as black. So there we go. Okay, I think we're about set up now to what I wanted to do. So I got my, oh, this bottom, these are still, hold on. These are still green. Okay. There we go. We'll go back to draw mode. We'll lock it. All right, so I think we are mostly set up to start doing what I want to be doing here. So we're in draw. I'm going to hit T again, get the draw mode. And okay, let's go. Got our palette at the top right. So now I'll keep the thing out here, this tool here. I'll make sure not to use too many shortcuts since I don't have the shortcut displaced on this alpha 2.3 alpha. If you guys have been using 2.3 alpha, how you guys been liking it? Has it been crashing for you guys? This is my first time using this one, so I don't know if it's gonna crash or not. And I'm hoping it doesn't. Okay. So the pressing the U key, the letter U, brings up my materials, and I'm able to like pick my materials just by pressing the U while in draw mode. This is very useful to, you know, start switching between these and stuff. Can I also do it with right click? Yes, I can also do it with right click. So if you right click, you can change your active material. You can also press U. So I'm going to use right click for now. And I'm going to start off with black. So we'll start off with black. And now when I draw, I'm an ink pen right now. And I guess it really doesn't matter. Since my material is a fill, when I draw, I'm just like drawing shapes. And that's how I'm going to start off this this reference. Let me bring the reference visible again. 1 second. Let me go to object mode. I got my reference that I imported in, and I think, oh no, okay, it's my camera. So my camera, I have it so what's outside of the camera is darker. I'm just gonna take that off for now. I just want to be able to see it clearly. And this is how you can control the you know, if you don't want to see what's outside of your camera or not. It's very useful too, you know, to do that. You can take, it's called pass. It took me forever to figure out what this was. Passport out. Passport. Whatever. So yeah, If you ever need to control what's outside, there you go. Very useful. I'm taking it off for now. I want to be able to see that the character clearly. I have my my 4 palettes, and now we'll start. Go to stroke, go to draw, right click, select black. Now when I draw, since we are in a fill mode, oh, layers locked. You can see it just by pressing that, active layers lock. Always stopping myself. So make sure that I select the shape layer that I'm supposed to be on. Right now I'm on reference, but I think I could right click and change it. So right click, and there we go. You could do a lot just with the right click. As soon as it says that she uses 2.92, yeah, I was using 2.92 as well. And I was just using 2.93 to be like cutting edge for now. But I usually like to stay with the stable one. But since I don't think we're gonna do anything crazy, I don't think it should crash. I hope. Was his last final words. So I could just draw these shapes, get my hand warmed up here, and it's easy to start drawing in shapes. I'm using a tablet right now, one without a screen, so I'm looking up at my monitor and drawing on a tablet. You can obviously do this with the mouse. It's just going to require a lot more work and precision and stuff. Anyway, I would really recommend, eventually, if you possibly can, getting a tablet. It's very useful. Alright, cool. So our head, so we're going to try and draw this right here, since this is where our line is. And I'm using these lines, once again, for reference, but I'm going to start trying to draw out these shapes. And they don't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, this is just for me to get a handle on where my markers should be. So, obviously I'm like undoing a bunch here. But you don't really have to do this. This is me trying to find the shape. And this is like my first shape. So I may just even go over this. And also, these are not permanent. I'm going to be just using these mostly as reference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the circle. And I'm going to build on the circle. So let's do the circle. And I'm always drawing it a lot bigger than what I think it should be. So because of that, I'm going to zoom out a bit. Sometimes being a little too close, you know, I usually draw small, right? So if you're a person who draws small, try to think about, you know, how close you are to your screen or not. So there's the basic shape, and then I'm going to build another shape. And this is just for us to build the silhouette, right? There's our head. And it looks like we got our neck here. And you can honestly make a little thin neck like that, and then we can start adding it on. It's like we're adding clay, you know? It's like we're sculpting in what we want here. So this line here, the second line, is at the clavicle. So that's why I have it right there. And that's just because I know there's like a V shape here. So this shape from the clavicle, it goes down, and then it passes through the clavicle, well, the middle of the clavicle, which is like right at the base of the neck, right? Let's see, right at like the little divot here is where it's at, right? So that's what I'm using it as a base. So from what it looks like here, the nose stops right where the shoulder is. So if the nose is right here, and we'll just add it in for now. But, you know, this is just to start finding these shapes. We'll know that the shoulder should be down here, right? So then we'll know, and then the top of the shoulder, it looks like it makes like a 45-degree angle with the head. So here's the head. Here's our 45-degree angle, right? Just like perfectly diagonal. Not perfectly, obviously. And then we got the bottom of the head, right? The bottom of the nose, and then that goes down to where the shoulder is. So now we know that this is where this is, right? Now we know where the points of the shoulder go. So that's what I'm thinking about, right? I'm thinking about these angles, and I'm thinking about where things land. Nose lands the shoulder, and the other shoulder is at a 45-degree angle from the back of the head. So what's cool is that I can just draw these lines like I did, And then I can see that the shoulder actually goes above the line. So it actually stops around here, right? And now I know that I could just make my line go this way, right? And I'm just gonna do the top half. And then I'm gonna hit my eraser. So I have the eraser key. Ooh. And just erase those lines. And now I'm starting to feel out these shapes, you know. And I also think it's very important to understand like the shape. Like I'm not just looking at a flat shape. I'm thinking about it having form and stuff. Uh, just as a quick example, like, you know, I'm not thinking of of this shape, you know. What I'm actually thinking about is a box, you know. So I'm thinking more like in these terms, and I'm imagining a box that goes through, right? So this is why this method could be a little deceiving, because it looks like I'm just like drawing out the flat shapes, and that's not at all how you should be thinking when you're doing this. And obviously you should learn practice how to, you know, draw boxes and um and other shapes so you can visualize. This is what you should be visualizing when you do this. Do not just think about the square. Think about the cube. Very important distinction. Okay. So we'll go back to the black. And I see, and you know, and I'm gonna start using these colors to start really trying to show you what I mean here. So let me add some more to the neck here, because the neck looks kind of ridiculous here. And it's easy just to add the same color. And I'm just drawing kind of like, you know, um triangle shapes, and just adding in. I'm trying to see, add to the shape until it looks right. So this, obviously, this divot here, let's see how I can make an arrow. There we go. This divot here, it doesn't go that deep into my drawing. So let's add some more muscle onto that, or some more meat. All right. So the head's going bigger, and maybe the head needs to be a little bit further back. So let's add maybe even some more onto this head. So we're gonna keep on adding, and we're gonna keep doing it until it feels right. Obviously, you're gonna see me stumble a lot through this, and that, just know that that's all part of the process. You know, I'm still learning how to do all this stuff, so this is just you watching me do this, learning together. If you ever have any suggestions, obviously add some suggestions. We're gonna keep the neck like this. Maybe add some more on this side. And we're gonna keep it for now. It's a little too much for me, this divot here, but we're just gonna have to deal with it for now. Okay, so let's switch. It looks like there's lighting, right, that goes on the right, but I'm not gonna use this lighting. I'm just using this as the shape. So I want the lighting to come from the top left, which is like usually more of a typical thing. So I'm gonna use gray right now, and then see about making this body shape. This body shape looks like it has kind of like a pinch here. You know, I can even trace it right here for you to see it. So the shape I'm thinking about now is this front portion, right? And then there's this back portion here. And that's what makes up the whole body. Now you can't even tell the difference there. So we're going to do this front portion. That goes up to the bottom line in there. So that's what we're going to do. Do some of that. And we're going to feel out that shape. Okay, and since we're lighting it from the top left, I'm just gonna put it back to black here. So let's go black, oops, black, and let's figure out where this cube, oops, where this cube is at. So this goes more like it's back. Start feeling out these shapes here. Okay, so then now I can use the advantage of like Blender, so I can select my cubes here, and then I can start sculpting these, right? So let's go to sculpt mode. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting tab, in edit mode. I selected those two, and I think if I go to sculpt, oh, I guess it doesn't work that way. I have to select, so let me start from the beginning, guys. So I'm in draw mode. I'm going to go to the top, go to sculpt. Then I'm going to select one of these modes. This is vertex, line, and I think shape. So we're going to go to vertex. It selected those two. Now when I use the sculpt tool, it only affects the ones that I have selected. So I'm going to hit F. That's how you redo your brush. And I'm not going to, I'm just trying to do what feels right, So let's just play around with this and see, what the shape. And this is just going to be a rough sketch, what we're doing, because we're going to be going over this again. So I'm going to move that up, trim it down, and see if I can get this waist looking, to my eye, what I think looks probably good, right? So that's what I'm doing, using that sculpt tool. Gotta use the advantages of Blender here and sculpt your lines in. And remember, this round here doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to feel out the shapes. Okay, cool. So I think I sculpted it in a way that I think makes sense. So now we are going to go back, and I'm gonna hold Control and press Tab. This brings up the pie menu, and I'm gonna select draw mode. And now we're gonna see about making, and I could already see that my character right now is, or my shape is way different than this shape, and I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna get here and try and be perfect. I'm just gonna try and continue. So I'm gonna draw the underwear line, and the underwear line, this line here, right? It starts perfectly at the underwear. So then when I'm thinking about the underwear line, when I'm thinking about what I'm visualizing is a circle, right? And I'm visualizing, if you were to put like underwear and on like a spherical object, technically her waist, I'm technically imagining this line, right? Imagining it going around an actual sphere, right? And it actually going up and again going around the sphere, and then this actually just being a part of it right here, right? So then that's the shape I'm going for, and this is what I'm imagining. I'm imagining the sphere. I keep saying this because it's very important. I don't want you to think that you're just gonna draw shapes. You need to also like really pay attention and really think about what you're doing. So let me go to black solid. Okay, so since this is already smaller, I feel like I'm drawing it way smaller. I'm just gonna have to adjust, right? So I'm gonna have to see where this goes. So we know that the underwear line starts right at the end of the end of like the square we have drawn here. So we know it starts here, and then where it ends is just underneath the armpit here, right? So here's the armpit, and it goes down to here. So it kind of like we're kind of scooping in. We have like, let me show you the shape that this makes. So the shape this makes, and I'll draw it from here, just so you can see it. Okay. So then the shape the shape that we're trying to form is something like this, right? It scoops in, right? And then it goes all the way down. So that's what I'm thinking about. Think about that shape, visualize it, feel it, and then keep going. Okay, cool. So let's draw this underwear line. And we're probably going to have to draw it smaller. And let me make sure I have the shape that I'm going for here. So I'm just going to draw this line here. And that's just for me to guide me on the type of spacing I'm trying to do here. So let's draw this. Yeah, and they see, and it curves here because her stomach is sticking out. Her underwear is going out and sticking out. So there's her underwear line. And we could probably start shaping this up in sculpt mode. So we'll go to sculpt. Boom. We'll select what we need here. How's it going, YS Books? Good to see you. We'll select, we selected the second mode, or you could just press 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, can you? Oh, I guess you can't do that here. But you select the line mode. I selected what I wanted. I'm gonna go back to push. And then I could start shaping this out to start fitting what I want here. And obviously I can zoom in. I do, you know, try not to zoom in all the time. This should be sticking out a little bit. At least I think so. I could be wrong. And then we'll have this sticking out. It's actually going around. Cool. So there we go. So we're back. We got our underwear line, and we're gonna keep going. I think it's a little off, but that's fine. We're just using this line as a reference here. We got our underwear line. Okay, so I want to put gray behind this underwear line, so I'm going to change to that gray. Boop, boop. Oh, that's not gray, that's black. So I'm going to change to that gray. And I'm going to make sure this is selected. And this is draw strokes on back. So now this is going to put all the strokes behind it. So I'm just going to fill in that space. And you'll see it just fill right in. Boom. Cool. So now that's filled in. Make sure to unselect it so it's not confusing you. We'll stay in gray. And we're going to continue drawing the body, right? So we know I put this second line here, this line at this 1, 2, 3, this fourth line here, and the line is right below the knee, right? And let's just see some like landmarks, right, of where I think this stuff is at, right? So we know that this part of her leg sticks out. That's like her quads. You don't have to like know anatomy, but know that there's like big muscles sticking out here. And this is actually a little bit of her gluteus medius, which is like the side of her butt. That's what you see like right here as well. It's like this like chunk that sticks out there, little chunk that sticks out there, and then her quads start here, and her quads are kind of like this. Not that it matters, but it's good to understand some of this stuff. Actually, it scoops out to the right of the knee here. That may be a little wrong, but it's like two muscles here, and it goes all the way to the back. Anyway, so we know that the underwear line is here. There's something sticks out, and then the knee really is placed in the middle part of her leg here. So here's the leg. Well, obviously, right? Here's her leg, and then it goes here, and that's what I'm thinking about, right? So that part of the leg is right here, right? Or that part of the underwear line. So then I'm just gonna draw some ovals for or I should say rounded squares for this kneecap. And we know the kneecap ends right at the bottom of the line, so the square should really sit on the line. So that's what I'm doing. So here's the line, we bring it down, and I'm gonna delete it afterwards. But here's the middle of it, right? And then we'll make the rounded square here. And just to see how big the knee is, the knee looks like it goes almost to the middle, and then it goes a quarter, 3/4 of the way to the underwear line. So almost to the middle will be right here, and we'll draw in. I'm just gonna draw in a knee, or a square, I should say, just so I know where this is. And we'll erase this one. And then we have another knee right across from it, and it's actually dipping just a little bit below the line here. So I'm gonna make the knee to just stick out a little bit like that. And the same thing, it's like the middle of the underwear line, and I'm just flowing through that. And this is just like the process of what I'm thinking. Once again, I'm not super. This is when I'm just making, when I'm learning and making these things, I try to think about shapes first. It's very important to think about those shapes. All right, cool. So I have the knee, and it looks like this knee's further back than this knee, so this knee should actually be a little bigger. So I'm gonna hit tab, select the knee, hit S, and then I'm just gonna make it a little bigger. And maybe not a good idea. We'll see. Just experiment. Okay, so we got our knee going down. That's looking good. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm gonna make these knees dark because I'm gonna draw the legs in gray. So let's just make these dark, and it's just for me to be able to see where. So I'm in edit mode. I selected them. I'm in line mode. Hit black. Hit assign. They're black now. Great. So now they're black, and we're gonna go to hit right click, make sure that we're on gray again, and we're gonna try and draw these leg shapes. And from the shape that we're looking at, right? What I'm looking at, as much as you're looking at the legs, you're also looking at, I think, the negative space, right? So the negative space, and I'm gonna try and simplify it, is this straight line here, and then a slightly diagonal line here, right? So let's just draw it out without any of these extra floofies or anything, extra bumps. That is the shape that we're going for, and I'll show you what that looks like. Grab X. So this is the shape we are going for, and this triangle looks like it's pointing right at the center here, right? So I can already see that this underwear, right, should be more towards the left, right? Because we got our kneecaps, we got where this is supposed to be. So this line should really be a little bit kind of sticking out. So let's fix that. So we're gonna go to edit mode or sculpt mode. We have this selected, and we're just gonna sculpt it in. And I think that's what I was seeing before. This can stick out a little bit. There we go. Scale down a little bit here. Maybe I'm going too much here. Maybe I'll just tone it down a bit. Okay. So let's go back into our draw mode. Now, this is starting to look a little better, right? On what we're trying to do here. And also the knee, what I'm also looking at is the space here, right, is bigger than the space to the left of the knee, right? So here's the knee, there's a chunk here that sticks out, and then there's a smaller, thinner chunk there. So I'm thinking about that. Yeah. So here's the big chunk that's probably sticking out there, and I'm gonna keep my reference. I'm not gonna keep my reference. I'm gonna just try and do it without that reference. But now I know that that's what that's supposed to be. So anyway, so let's draw in gray. So right click, gray. And let's see if we can draw out this shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can just swoop it in, right? So as I'm drawing it, see how it's drawing in above? If you remember, if you go to the top left, make sure that you select draw strokes on back. So that'll make sure to put the shapes in the back. So we're going to do that. And we're going to move it out. And we're going to go straight up. So we're going to do it a couple times here. Maybe. And I'm going to make sure to try and end at the bottom of the knee. So let's. So what I'm doing is this shape right here. This triangle shape. You know what? I don't even have to draw the whole shape, right? I just have to draw this triangle part. And to make these triangles, you should also, while you're working this way, I think you should just think about an L shape. So if I draw an L, you see how it makes half a square? So two L's, right, make a square, right? And if you think in triangles, it gives you a little bit more freedom. So drawing an L like that, right? Because it connects your first point and your last point. So here I made a little triangle, little emblem thing. So what I'm also thinking about is I'm thinking about drawing in L shapes. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Let's do it again. And what I want to do is also follow the flow of her body, right? And what we could have done in the beginning, honestly, is like draw in a line of action, and I totally forgot to do that. So, bleh. So let's just draw this triangle shape. And we don't have to worry about much else. There you go. So we drew the triangle shape. I think that looks pretty good. And then, since we know that this line here is straight down, we'll draw it straight down, and then we'll just fill it up here. Okay. I think that's good for right now. So now we'll draw the next leg. And it's the same thing. And also, I should probably go a little further up here. Let's just do that. There we go. So we got our leg. We got the extra chunk here that I was thinking about when I was doing this over here. And it's thinner on this side. So that's working out. All right. Now, what I'm seeing is that the leg is up in front. So I want to have a separation. So I am going to change the color here. So I'm going to right click, hit gray. I'm going to go to gray 2. And we're going to start drawing on top, right? So make sure that this is unselected. All right, so make sure this is unselected. Sorry, I blanked out here for a second. And then we're going to, and you see how this kind of like goes over the back leg here. It goes straight over. So that's what I'm going to try and find, right? So I'm going to draw. There we go. And it sucks that I have to draw over the knee, but that's fine. And you know what? I think we're just going to go with this one. I think that works out. So I want to bring my kneecap back up in front. So I'm going to go to edit mode, select the kneecap that's behind. We're going to hit arrange strokes, and then I'm gonna bring forward, and I have it so I right click it and I set it to the shortcut for the brackets. So I just use the brackets. So there it is. It's up in front now. Now we'll go to sculpt mode, and I'm going to select. Hold on, I'm gonna select just the leg because that's all I want to affect. Hit F. I'm just gonna fill this in here. You know, we have a smoothing tool here too, right? So smooth. So let's see how much that affects this line here. So smooth out those lines. And I think that looks pretty good. So if we're looking at our reference, we should see some stuff on the side of the leg here. So let's go back to sculpt. And let's bring out the foot here. Bring up, because the kneecap ends, I want it to end right at the kneecap. It goes over the leg here. You know, and once again, this isn't exact. We're just getting these shapes out. And it's also a learning process. I'm also doing it this way because I am not like really skilled. I'm trying to, if you do this process enough times, you can start seeing these shapes a lot easier. And by breaking down photographs and making the shapes, it becomes easier for you to visualize this. Not only in this form, but like in the 3D form like I was drawing before. Because like what I'm also thinking about here, once again, is not the shape. Even though it is turning out pretty nice, in my opinion. But I'm also thinking about the cylinder shape. You know, this is really what I'm thinking about. Like this cylinder, you know, being the shape of the leg here, what I'm looking at here, you know. And that's why I think you should always practice, you know, practice your basics of you know, drawing a cube, you know. And obviously this is very sloppy, but make sure you draw through it so you know what you're visualizing in the back. Drawing circles, or spheres I should say, drawing where the center line is vertically, the center line is horizontally. Obviously this should be a little better here. Drawing cylinders, so like the top of a cylinder, because you can have something like this, and this cylinder, now we're looking at the bottom of it, right? Or now we're looking, if we just put this line here, now we're looking at the top. See how easy it is to flip how the cylinder is facing? Obviously, this is not perfect, but there's the top of the cylinder. Oh, now we're looking at the bottom of the cylinder. And just thinking about those shapes. So, very important, guys. Always think about those three shapes will get you where you want to go, always. Not always, but for the most part. Oh, man. Okay. So, for this next half, I'm also going to delete this line here. There you go. And let's continue the legs. So something that I have trouble with is figuring out where like the, what is it, the ankle? Yeah, the wrist of the legs, the ankle ends, right? So I'm gonna go to my reference file and I'm gonna add some extra lines here for me, for learning purposes, guys. So I'm gonna select this line. I'm gonna hit Shift D and do it on the Z, and I'm gonna bring it up to where the, I forget what that bone's called, but it's the one that sticks out on the side of your foot. I guess your ankle, right? I'm sure it has a technical term. And I'm doing it to the left leg right here. So there you go. So I know that that's basically the spot for my left leg. So we'll lock that layer back up. We'll go back to shapes. We'll go to draw mode. And we'll keep going. we'll keep going on this. So now I right click, I hit gray 1 because we're gonna do this left leg, and I did this this leg white just so you could see, we could see on top of it, and you can see that the shape ended up being the same one that I drew, and it all happened because I was thinking about that shape as I was making it. Okay, so I know that when I'm looking at this, right, what I'm thinking about is that cylinder I was talking about. So this cylinder is kind of like, let's see if I can draw it out here. So this leg goes around like this, very light, not so steep. And see, I'm drawing it a bunch of times. And it takes practice. And here, right? So here's what I'm looking at, is this cylinder shape. Right? And just so we could see it, you know, it's not, obviously doesn't match up to the one I drew, but I'm thinking about this cylinder shape when I'm thinking about my drawings, right? And how it goes and how it flows. So that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so then let's go back. Gray 1. And let's see if we can make one that matches up to here. So we know that the knee, the center of the knee, it looks like it goes right down basically to the center of the foot. It's almost at a little bit of an angle, but it goes right down to the center of the foot. So really, this is the knee. Sticks out there. It goes out. Actually, what I'm looking at is this highlight here. I don't know if you can see it, but this highlight here, I know that's also a bone. It's called something, and we should definitely find out what it is one day. But that's what I'm following right now. And just to make sure, let me check the chat here real quick and the stream, make sure everything's not blowing up. Cool. Twitter, or not Twitter, YouTube's going good. And Twitch is going good. Okay. Okay, so we know it's at the bottom. We know it's at a slight angle. So I'm just going to draw the bottom half of it. And then it's sometimes easier to draw one point, draw another point, and then since you know where you're going, you draw the line to it. It's easier to then formulate, right, how to make this, and it becomes much easier if you have a and B point. So when you're drawing stuff, like even in pen and paper, think about that. Maybe you want to make a point at one side, make a point on another, and then you can make your cylinder, right? And it's much easier than trying to figure out where you're starting and then where you're ending. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about my endpoint. My endpoint is here. I know it's this line. Here we go. So let's draw the cylinder first, see what it looks like. And that looks good, but we know that there's like the calf muzzle that sticks out here. And we know it kind of, this looks like it like tucks in. Let's see if I can, this looks like it tucks in and then gets out. So that's like a calf muzzle that we need to account for, right? So let's draw the cylinder even thinner, right? Real thin. Oh, so let me draw behind, so I'm not drawing on the kneecap. So selected that. I already have my endpoint. Draw a real thin calf, and then we're gonna build on it. Like if like we're building a skeleton, right? So there's our thin calf. Our thin baby cow. I'm just kidding. Our calf here. And let's see if I can build out the rest of the shape here. There. And there. So I'm trying to see if I can fit in this calf here. And I'm thinking about the L shape that I'm talking about. That's all I'm trying to build, right? This L shape. Because we could fill in the rest later. See? Easy. Alright, so I think this is okay. I think we may need to do some sculpting here. But I also think we should add some more. More right there. Okay. So I think this is maybe good. So let's go to edit mode. Let's figure out what if we can salvage this. So we're gonna hit the selection key. We'll make sure this is selected up here. So you can unselect it and select it. Make sure it's selected. We're gonna select all our leg here. We're gonna go to push. That is my favorite one. And then I'm going to hit, is it F? Yeah, F. And then we're gonna see if we can sculpt it a bit to how we maybe want it to be. Maybe this doesn't look right, you know. There you go. And then so I don't get out of sculpt mode and I don't want to see these lines, I'm just gonna hit this button up here. Does it have a shortcut? It doesn't. But you can hit this over, it's called the overlay key, I think, right? Is that what it's called? Show overlays. So you can just put this on and off so you can see it without the lines. And you can see that, you know, we're getting there. We're getting to a spot where, you know, it's going. Maybe it's a little, I like how I sculpted it so far, so I'm gonna go to edit mode. Maybe it's a little too thick. So I'm gonna hit S while in edit mode, so scale, so I can make it bigger and smaller, but I'm gonna just hit X and I'm just gonna make it thinner and see if that helps. So it's thinner now. Looks a little better, maybe a little too thin. I'm gonna move it behind the knee. Show overlays. And I think it works better thinner. We just have to like move this part. And by move that part, I mean just have it like flow better. So I'm gonna go to sculpt. I have it selected already. And then I can sculpt it in. I can put the overlay. And there we go. I think that's looking better. I also don't think it dips here. Yeah, it doesn't really dip on that left side. So let's bring back let's bring back that let's undip it. So we'll go back to push. We'll zoom in. We'll hit F. You know what? And we'll smooth it out. It's getting kind of weird. Smooth it out. And I'm also going to take the overlay off so we could just see it smooth out. There we go. Also, there's like a weird, I don't know, like empty space here. So that's probably because, yeah, this is showing through. So I'm just gonna do that. There you go. Sculpt it over. And I think that's good for this leg, honestly. That's more than enough. More than enough. So we'll go to draw mode again. We'll zoom out. We'll bring back our overlays. And so the next shape, same thing. And just so we don't have a bunch of reference lines, I'm going to go back to our reference lines. Go to edit mode. Select the reference line. If I'm able to select it. Hold on. There we go. And I'm going to bring it down on the Z and then bring it down to where I think the bottom of the cylinder is, right? So I'm going to bring it down to the bottom of the cylinder. That's about here now. Cool. So we're at the bottom of the cylinder. And we're going to do the same thing. So let's make sure that we lock that up. Go to shapes, right click, go to grade 2. Middle mouse click over and we'll draw in, and you know, I can't see the reference while I'm zoomed in a bit, so I'm going to move the reference a little to the right. Get a little bit closer just for now. Let's dip it in. Let's dip our toes in. There we go. And yeah, for anybody just watching and tuning in now, drawing a character, just drawing the base now. I was going to start the stream with the base already made, but I don't know. I guess I thought maybe this would be useful as well. So drawing out the base here. And then I'm going to start drawing clothes. Really, the focus of the stream, I wanted it to be on costume design and clothing and stuff. That's something I've never really dipped into or tried, and seems really hard. So you guys, I basically put it on for me to struggle through it in a public eye. Anyway, so looking at this one, I'm gonna see that the line goes down, right? It goes all the way down. It comes at an angle, and then I'm gonna do the endpoint. The endpoint looks like this. So here's my endpoint. We're gonna draw the thin. We're gonna do this one a little faster, and we will draw the small cylinder. We do the end part, and now we're just gonna draw the square that fills in this, like she has like some sort of peg leg. Now we're gonna add in the calf muscle. And this is why I like working this way, because you can just keep adding in volume. Just go in, zoom in, add some volume. And, you know, I usually do this a lot faster. I'm just slowing it down a little bit for you guys. Actually, this is about as long as it takes me. So never mind. But, you know, this is, just know that this is a learning, there's a learning going on here. This is not just me. This is not just me making the image. This is me looking and critically thinking about these shapes and what I'm thinking about and what's happening here. Okay, so we got that going on. Pretty cool. Let's go to sculpt mode. Top left. We're gonna select the leg here. We're gonna go to push. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm going to take the overlay off. I'm also gonna smooth this out. So I hit the smooth key, then I'm gonna go to push, hit F to make it bigger, and then see if I can shape this to something that looks a little better. This is you know, this is a different way of working. If you're into sketching and doing it that way, do it that way too. I like doing it that way as well. I guess I'm doing these techniques because it's the advantage of using Blender. If you wanted to learn how to do the sketching part or anything like that, you could definitely just like use any drawing program. Use Krita, Photoshop, and you know, do the sketching and stuff. I'm specifically doing it this way because it's the tools that I think are unique to Blender and what Blender can do and how we can use it to our advantage, and even maybe create new workflows on how to do this stuff. Anyway, let's bring back the overlays. And get out of edit mode. Good stuff, good stuff. So we got our legs going on and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the color for the foot. So we're gonna go back to black for the back foot. So let's go to the black foot here. And now we can look at feet. Feet are fun. Okay, so the shape that I'm thinking about, just so you guys know what I'm doing here, or what I'm seeing. The shape that I'm thinking about is a rectangle, right? So this is really how I'm envisioning this when I'm going to put in this shape right now. This, and I know it goes off like this a little bit. Goes up into a distance. There we go. It's attached to this bottom. The cylinder comes out of this, you know. We go in. There's the shape. I know that there's a cut in here that we'll be able to see. And then I know it divots in here like this. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm looking at this foot and I'm about to lay down the shape. Think about this square. Think about what this looks like, how this looks like, how this works. I know I'm like a broken record now, but that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, let's go back. Let me go to my reference, bring back the ankle. I should have just finished the whole thing, honestly. Edit mode. Unlock. Grab Z, bring it back to where I think it is. Boom. Great. Go to shapes, lock. And draw mode. Okay. Make sure I'm on my black color. And let's see if we can draw this foot. And for my reference, I'm going to use it up here. This is the reference I'm going for. Okay. So. Let me zoom out a bit, actually. There we go. That's a better reference to what I'm doing here. So let's think of that shape, right? So I'm thinking about the top of the Alright, so I'm thinking about how this tapers, right? So if I go over here, you can see how this goes kind of like that, right? So let's think about that shape, that taper. So we'll start big, tiny. Oh no, small. Let's do a big, small. There we go. So there we go. And then oh yeah, it is drawing behind. So we'll draw behind still. This is not looking right. So I think it's a little too short. So let's keep going. This shape. And I'm blocking it out, right? I'm just blocking out what I see. It looks like I made the foot point a little bit more forward. So let's see if I can fix that. It should be like this. There we go. Let's see if we can erase just this little tiny guy here. There we go. Fill that in. Fill this in. And honestly, that looks pretty good to me. We're not gonna draw feet here. We're gonna be just drawing a shoe. All right, cool. And now the next shape I'm thinking about. Let's see what this looks like. This is a little harder because this is like. Oh man, this is way harder, right? So if we just draw the top here, so this is the top of the foot, and this kind of goes back to this to the side and the bottom of the foot. You know, this is a lot tougher here. Let's see. And it goes out. So let's see. It goes out. And this is the top of the foot. Like if it was a cube. This cube goes back. This obviously has two parts here. So this is a tough shape. Real tough shape. And let's see if we can get anywhere close to this. And it looks like this one, the shape I'm looking at is really the negative space. So this shape, let me go to the black. So this shape, so down, little shape like that, and it curves out like this. So if we just did a line, it would look like this. So this is essentially what we're looking for. A cut in because the toes go out, and then kind of like flat on the side here. So let's do that. So I'm looking at the foot up here. And it looks like if I'm looking at the foot, it goes with the foot. It flows, right? It goes down, it flows down the leg, down to the ankle, and then boom, stops right at that toe mark. And then that toe mark, it takes like I don't know, 35, 25 degrees, and it tries to reach the bottom line there. So we'll flow. So we'll just draw the first half. We don't have to do... There we go. So that's the first half. And if we zoom out a little bit, we'll see that it goes in. The back half is back here, right? So let's just do the back half. And we'll experiment with some stuff. Maybe this is not the way to go. But it looks like it, because the back of the heel is here, right? So let's see where the back of the heel is. Back of the heel. I guess the only thing that doesn't work here, I think, is this part right here. So we'll go to sculpt mode, and we will push it so it makes more sense. There it is. Now we'll get out of sculpt mode, see what that looks like, and I think this looks good. I just think this back foot is bigger, even though it's further back. So maybe this foot, oh, this foot is definitely about to reach the bottom here. So that's what we have wrong here. This foot has a lot of space between it's basically only going halfway between the lines. Right, so let's fix that, right? So let's zoom out here, zoom up on our feet. We'll go to edit mode. We will select all of these. And this too? Okay, yeah. And then we'll make it smaller. We'll make it to see that it goes halfway, like how it's supposed to. Now she has a tiny little foot, and it looks weird, right? So obviously we're gonna have to fix this. But now this seems to be more of the size that it's supposed to be. So now we'll hit S for scale, and hit X, and we'll just widen it out, just to fit what we need to fit, right? And then we'll go to sculpt. Now that we connected the tops and the bottoms of the foot, we'll go to sculpt. We'll make it bigger, and we'll just work with the bottom half, so the top half is still connected. I still think it looks kind of funny. Like, it definitely looks kind of weird. I have to admit. Like, is it because this is all wrong? This could all be wrong, guys. The beauty of learning stuff. Maybe this needs to feel a little thinner. This curve needs to be further in. I don't know. To me, it looks like she has a tiny foot, but I guess that's how it looks like here as well. And then maybe that's just because it's further back, right? Let's bring back the overlay. You know what? We'll deal with that later. Let's not get too worked up about this. But it's going. I think it's going. This is going pretty good, guys. Let me just do some tweaking here. This line sticking out is kind of bothering me. Let's go sculpt mode. Sculpt it up. Oh, excuse me. Okay, cool. And then from the leg, it looks pretty good. I think this looks actually decent. I thought it didn't look good at first. But I think it's looking pretty good. So now we got these legs going on. We got where the knees are supposed to be. And I think this knee here, I wanna skew it a bit. So it really looks like it's at an angle here. There you go. We got our legs going. We got our shapes going. I was doing a lot of thinking about the legs, how they connect and stuff. So let's do let's do the arms now. And we will do that with also a lighter color. We'll right click, we'll do grade 2. And then we'll keep going. This head I definitely need to fix. But we'll do it afterwards. So once again, what I'm thinking about is the cylinders, guys. Make sure that draw behind is unselected. I'm thinking about the cylinder. So here's the cylinder. And we know that the cylinder ends. So the curve between her torso and her pelvis is right on the line. And I think we have that kind of close. It's a little above here. But anyway, it's this. Her elbow's about halfway through her body, right? It's about if you measure this. So here's her elbow. Here's that length, and here's that length. So you can see, you can start thinking of these shapes here. So let me see where I want to end up. So I want to end up. Oh, also her elbow ends at the back of her foot, right? Susan says, looking good. Thank you, Susan. It's getting there. I appreciate the good words. It makes me feel like I'm not just spiraling out of control here. So the elbow lines up with the back of her left foot. You see? And that's this line here that we're trying to make, right? This like triangle line. So that's how you know how far your elbow goes, right? So maybe this needs to be a little bit more exaggerated, but we know that the back of her foot here should line up. If it goes straight up, her elbow goes into here, right? And I think if I'm looking at this correctly, there needs to be more of a push on her leg, because if I just draw this going up, like her elbow does not stick out much, right? It'll stick out like, well, I guess it sticks out a lot. Put it right here. Okay, never mind. I'm talking out my butt. So let's draw the first cylinder. Let me zoom in a bit here. I'm also going to zoom in on my reference here. And there you go. So we'll zoom in and we'll draw our first cylinder. And from my cylinders, I want to make a tapering cylinder. That's what I'm thinking about. Big and small, and then connecting the two, right? So it's like a tapering kind of situation. So let's draw our big. And let's just draw over here. There we go. Okay, so let's just... Drawing it a bunch of times helps me a bunch. There we go. I think that's where the elbow is at. I'm going to erase the edge here. And her arm's sticking out a little bit more, but we're going to erase our reference here. And then, like I did with the kneecaps, I'm going to draw the corner of her elbow in black. So right click, black. And we'll just do a little triangle shape. Oh my god. We'll just do a little... and all I'm doing is an L shape, like this. Reverse L, I guess. Because I just want to see the transition. You know, maybe I'll even add a little bit more to this L. Just want to see where the elbow is. Ours are so loud over here. Alright. Now that we see the separation, back to gray. And make sure we're drawing on top. So it looks like her wrist ends up below the line, but not touching her. Obviously, because her wrist is not going to be right there. So, and it goes right over her underwear line. So her underwear line, right the middle of it, so like right here, is where her wrist should land. So her wrist should be right here. I'm drawing the end point, or the smaller half of the cylinder. And then we'll draw the bigger half. And actually, I'll draw behind for this one. And we will connect the hands. Add some volume to it. And let's go to edit mode. Let's see if we can play around with this. This is not looking entirely how I think it should look. So I'll move it around. And I'm just using my intuition of what I think would probably look better. Let me make this thinner for a second here. Thinner. There we go. Maybe it should be maybe it should not be so thin. Let's make it a little thicker. Rotate it out. Oh, also a little taller. Rotate it out. Great. And then for the hands, and I have all three colors here, so like it's gonna disappear somehow. So let's draw the hand mostly at the top here. So we'll do, I'm just doing like a fan shape. So I think about a fan, and then I try to square it off with the taper. Like that. It's kind of like a circle, a semicircle. I scoot it in, small circle, and then that's it. Okay. So let's do that. We'll do a little one first. Oh, I drew it behind, but I like the shape. So let's go to edit mode, select the line. I'm going to use my bracket tools to arrange it to the front. There you go. Get out of edit mode. Let's draw this finger here and the thumb that goes behind. So the thumb goes behind the body, or behind the waistline here. So you can just draw that to imply it. And then the finger that goes up top. And this may be a little bit more than I want. Looks a little funny, hands look funny, and it's because it doesn't have this bottom edge here, right? I think that's what it is. So we're gonna add that bottom edge. So it really looks like it's going in. Okay. Cool. And now that we have our legs in, maybe we could just make the legs the gray color. Maybe that will make these arms a little bit easier to see. So we'll select all the legs. We'll hit shift. We'll go to the materials. We'll go to gray. We'll hit assign. Make sure we get everything here. Assign. Assign. Okay. Okay. There we go. We got the arm going. We got the shoulder going. I think it's looking pretty dandy. Shoulder looks a little sharp. I mean, it looks a little sharp here too, but I'm gonna soften that up a bit. So I'm gonna go to the sculpt mode. I'm going to make sure this is selected, blah, blah, blah. Have that one selected, and I'm going to sculpt that so her shoulder's just a little softer. Doesn't look as, like, super sharp. There we go. It works a little better for me. This arm's a little thin, so maybe I can add some thickness to that. We'll go to sculpt mode, or maybe it's fine. Maybe it's gosh darn fine. But we'll mess with it right now just to see if it needed to be messed with. Nah, I guess it's fine. Great. Alright, so on to the left arm. So let's keep on trucking here. For the left arm, it looks like the arm is it's one's overlapping the other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the first half of the arm, I'm gonna make it dark, and the second half of the arm I'm gonna make it light, and I just want to see that separation. That's why I'm working this way. So let's do that. Let's me zoom in over here. And we can start seeing the length of the arm. So the wrist, if you noticed, you're thinking about this stuff. The wrist ends right where the shoulder ends. So you see how the shoulder goes down, slopes down. Boom, and hits the wrist. And that's all one continual like motion here. Bam. I mean, it's a little off, but for the most part, the wrist lines up with the shoulder angle that we have here, which makes it really nice and appealing. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm gonna make this shape in the front here. So before we get to that though, let me draw the first half of the arm, which is the dark part that I'll be doing. So let's go to dark, and let's see if we could just draw that real quick. I'm gonna draw behind first, so we can fill up the black space behind. And this should be a little easy here. See? We'll just draw behind. We can start seeing the imperfections of my my first triangle here, or my chest shape. And it looks like it ends right at the underwear line. So I gotta make sure it ends right here. Right? And I was drawing behind, but we know that it's in front, so make sure that this is unchecked. And now we're gonna draw in the front here. You know, what this potentially looks like. This looks funny right now. But I'm thinking about the cylinder. The cylinders! Only, I want you to dream about cylinders and spheres and cubes. Okay, cool. Now let's we can draw the other one. This may not that half may not be done, but we can start drawing the second half here. Control S. Ugh. Whew. Um. So, like I was saying, what I'm looking at now is this triangle, this empty space. I'm looking at the negative space that I have to create with the shape I'm about to make, right? So there's obviously a distance between the shoulder and the wrist, and that makes this triangle shape, right? So that means this distance should be right here. Should be like right here. This is the distance. So that means her wrist should really start right here. So I'll draw the wrist, and I'll draw the shorter end here. And then it goes right up to her underwear line. That's where her elbow is. So let's do it where her elbow is. So that's right here. Now I'm going to connect these together. There we go. And the reason this looks funny is because this front arm, we should probably see some black there, but oh, let me erase this too. I can't. There we go. Okay. So looking at this, gotta make that negative space shape. Let me erase these. Okay. There we go. So this is generally where the shape is. And I think I'm gonna go to edit mode. I'm gonna start tweaking this a little bit more as well. So let's hold shift. So like these puppies. We'll hit grab. Oh, that's scale. Okay. Grab. We'll bring it in. We'll rotate it a little more. We'll hit grab. With G, I mean. There we go. So now we got, let's see what it looks like in edit mode. Alright, so now we have our arm that I think kind of looks funny. Looks a little stiff. And I think it's because the arm is generally going up. It's not at an angle like this. It's at an angle where it goes up. So let's see if we could fix that, or if I just have to redraw. So let's see. I'm just moving the back half and the forward half here. Maybe even rotating it just a little bit. Okay, this looks a little better. Doesn't have to be perfect, but looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the hand. And the hand, let's see what the shape that I have to be drawing here. Because you should always be thinking about this. So this shape that I'm looking at here is, and let me make my stroke a little smaller here. And yeah. So the shape is this cube. This is the back face of the cube. This goes across. This is the back of the hand, like as you see. And this is the side of the hand. This is the shape that I'm thinking about when I'm making my shape. I'm thinking about this cube. This is only the top. This is only the side. This is where the fingers come out. And this is the cube that I'm thinking about. So this is good. I drew it out. I visualized it. With enough practice, I won't have to do that. Okay. So, back at it again. We'll go to this gray here. We'll look at this hand. It looks like the fingers end up on the line. So really, let's see. So I'm going to draw the first top of the box. There's the box. This is the back of the hand. Goes out like this. Coming towards the camera. There you go. The side of the arm, or the side of the hand. And now you can't see anything. So I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to scale it. I'm also going to skew it into the position, not that. Skew it. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to keep drawing. And then the second half are the fingers, which are here. And I think it just dips right above where it needs to be there. And for good measure, I'm going to use the first gray, draw behind, and see if I can draw the thumb that would be here, right? Maybe this doesn't read, but that's fine. We'll have to fix it. We'll have to fix it later. Looks like she has like a claw. Maybe we can bring it in here. Oh no, it looks like it scoops in. That's what's happening here. Let's delete these. Let's go to draw mode. It scoops in like this. So scoop. There it is. And then we'll go to edit mode. We'll go to sculpt. We'll select all the thingies. We'll hit push. And we'll see if... Oh, I forgot to select this as well. We'll push and see if we can... Oh, forgot this one as well. Shift. Sculpt. Push here. You know, honestly, this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm always like... Let me check the chat. How's everybody doing out there? I think there's 2 of you in here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Twitch is doing pretty good, and my live stream on YouTube Excellent. Excellent connection. Awesome. Okay. All right. Ah, been almost at it for 2 hours. Let's keep on going. It's gonna be a nice one today. All right. So we got the hands. We got the legs. Let's look at it without any of this stuff. We got we got the hands. We got the legs. You know, uh, we got the body, the torso. I think this is looking pretty good. I think what I want to fix right now is the head. Before we continue, let's figure out this head situation. Let's go to the head, go to tab. Let's select all the things I need to select. We'll grab. I think the head just needs to be a little smaller, maybe. So let's see if we can do that. Cool. And then I want to see if I can select just the neck. Oh no, sorry. Go to sculpt mode. Have the neck selected and see if I can scoop in, because the space that I'm looking at right now, once again, always thinking about this negative space, is this like this square here, this carve out, this neck, the negative space, right? From the chin to the shoulder, out, scraping. So that's the same thing. Chin to the shoulder, scraping. I think I fixed it actually a lot just now. Just doing that. Maybe we can scoop this in. And up the villa. This is really clever. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm specifically doing this is up to the villa. I'm specifically do it this way because I could definitely just sketch and draw like you do in Krita and Photoshop and all that stuff. But I do it this way because these are the tools that are available in Blender. So it's what makes Blender unique. So I try to use those tools as often as possible. So anyway, going into the neck, I see that, I mean, we're pretty much there. Like, I think what's happening for me is, yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Like, I feel like we need to draw some black behind here and kind of connect it here. Like, that's what that's missing. Just a little bit. I think that it just needs a little bit of like connection there. Okay. All right. And I think we got what we've been going for. We've been sculpting through. We got our line. We got our person here going. Um, One last thing I want to do is probably make a mark where her belly button is. So I'm gonna mark that right now, and I'm gonna mark it. Um, I think it's just right here. Oops, you didn't see it. I forgot to uncheck mark this. Belly button's around here. They're on the same area. Um, and then let's see if I should even put markers for this. And if I should do it in white. So I'm gonna see if I can, if I should map out where her chest is, or if I should just deal with that later. So let's use our reference. And let's just use a line. I just want to see where it potentially stops. Right there. You know, this is really where it starts, around this area here. Okay, so we'll lock that up again. Go back into our draw mode. Boom. Okay. So I wish I had one more color, because I only have 4. I have black, white, and then 2 grays. Maybe if I had one more gray, but I don't know. I don't want to overcomplicate it with 5. So let's see if we can just map out where this area is. We have our lines already. Working out well here. Oh, shoot. What happened? Oh, okay. Just didn't scroll. Alright, so let's see if we can map out this. And the way I'm going to map it out, I'm going to think about it in cube form. So let's bring out the top half. Oh, wrong layer. Let's bring out the top half. The top half would be something like this. Oh, and it ends, and it starts right here. So it connects here, right? So this is where we're going. Like this. And I'm just following these lines exactly where they start. And it's at an angle. So I should be starting more at the bottom. And it doesn't have to match the lines perfectly. They're just guides. They're not like hard and fast rules. There we go. And then maybe use a darker shape. Oh, like I said, I wish I had one more gray. Let's see which gray would work better. So not that gray. I guess it'll have to be black. Also, I have white. I have not even used white. So really, I've been working with three values here. Let's go with dark. And honestly, maybe make this even more visible. Oh no, never mind. So we'll just do this. There we go. So that's we know generally where her chest plate would be once we start going up into this process and stuff. Okay. I think I got everything I want as a reference. For the head, let's actually form the head a little bit better. The head's always looking funny. Always looking funny. And it looks to me like this head is, if you follow like her hairline, right? That's like kind of the side of her head. It goes up to the side, the head, kind of like that, and it goes up to the line. You can kind of see the line here. And my head's not doing that, you know. So let's sculpt it. Let's sculpt it in. Let's choose our head here. Let's even choose the bottom half. I'm not choosing the nose. We're going to go to sculpting. Should have went to sculpting to begin with. And let's see if I can get this shape that it looks like. Let's see. Here. Just sculpt it in. Take out the chin. Bring it in. And I think it's looking a little better than it was before. There we go. Just has no hair sticking out. Oh, my rain and train sounds. I need to restart it. 1 second, guys. There we go. Rain train. And we just check everything. Looks like the stream's going good. And the stream's going good. Oh, I need to... need to fix my Twitch here. It's titled the wrong thing. 1 second, guys. Draw and hang. Draw and hang. Blender. Grease. Okay. Blah blah blah. Creative. Okay. So I was fixing my Twitch stream, guys. Even though nobody's really watching on there. But just making sure that it's going well. Alright. Blender's going well too. We're going good. We're going strong. Okay, so we have, I think we have everything we want. Oh, what's interesting is I only use 3 colors. I didn't even use the white. I only use dark, gray, and white here. So that ended up working pretty good. All right, we're at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to get some water. But let me just take a little hand break here, guys. How's everybody doing out there? Susan, how was your Easter? How was your Easter? How was your life? Up the villa, how are you doing if you're still here watching? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. How are you doing today? Take a little finger break here. Doing this for 2 hours straight, so yeah, so that goes well. Yes. Let me just stand up. Taking a little break, guys. Little 2-minute breather. You can check out my nice melting popsicle shirt. Fun stuff here. My green screen works so well now. Got this nice green screen, cuts me out like perfectly. Like you can barely see any of the, I guess you can see it in my hair. The hair chatter. But going good, do some stretching here. Very important to stretch. Do some waves. Maybe it should be. I should have like some stretch music, like. Okay, we're about done. Do some toe stretches. Oh man. There we go. All right. All right. Let's get back at it. All right. Now that we got our base, Um, let's see if I can. Let's 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 uh let's go through our base now, and Easter good. Eating breakfast now. Nice. Breakfast is my favorite meal. I love. Well, at least I guess like I don't know if it's what do you eat for breakfast? I was gonna say American breakfast, eggs and bacon, but I'm sure that's not an American thing. That's a universal thing. You know, a lot of people eat eggs and bacon. But yeah, breakfast is like my one of my favorite meals or types of meals. And I'm glad your Easter was good. Okay. So let's go to draw mode. Let's get rid of these line references. Well, maybe not get rid of them, but um maybe not get rid of them. But I do want to erase this shape here that's just on our head. And I'm just gonna put some landmarks, like in the same way that I put the belly button here. Let's see if I can put in some other stuff. Like maybe what's happening here? Hold on. Oopsies. Out of edit mode. Okay. So let me fix this by going into vertex mode and just there you go. Grabbing that. That was a little weird artifact there. Let's also go into this mode and we'll go to line mode. Actually we'll go to sculpt mode and we'll sculpt that in so it covers it in. So we got no spaces there. Another thing, we're just gonna fix like little weird inconsistencies. Just little weird stuff here, like you know what's happening here. So we'll select that underwear. We'll sculpt it in. Make sure that's going okay. So that's good. This shoulder thing going on here. Let's fix that. So we'll select it. We'll go to sculpt. There we go. Porridge. Nice. Select this line. Oh, this thing. We should probably go to vertex mode and see if we can fix this. Grab it. I don't know what is happening here. There's some like weird glitching going on. Hold on. Let's undo this. Let's see what affects what here. I don't know what is happening here. Alright, so could I grab these without ruining anything? Alright, we're just gonna leave that one. And the way I'm gonna fix it is I'm just gonna draw dark over it. So let's go dark. And we'll just, oh my god, and we'll draw right over it. Not gonna be an issue here. We're not gonna fight. We're not gonna fight it, you know. Make sure to save. All right, let's see what some other stuff we could fix here. You know, I want to put a landmark for the elbow over here. So the way that looks right here. Put a little landmark there. So let's put a little circle. From what I'm looking at here, this looks like it looks kind of like this. That's what this elbow looks like. It like six out here, six out here. It's almost like a teardrop. So I just want to see where that is. So like how big her elbow is. We extend the line here. All right. Another thing we can fix for my sake. You know, this doesn't have to be perfect. I just want landmarks. All I'm doing is figuring out where these landmarks are. So maybe for the head, I want to mark where the the jaw. I forgot what it was called. What the jaw looks like this. Easy stuff. And actually, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to get it perfect. This is just for reference for later. You know, and from what it looks of it, it looks like her sternomastoid. I forget what it's called. The neck muscle. There's two of them. It's a V shape, and that muscle goes from the back of your ears, and it goes down your neck, and it goes to the center of your clavicle right here, right? So, when you're looking at it from, if you're looking at hers goes, see, right behind the ear, and it goes, this is where her sternum, the middle of her sternum is. Not sternum. Yeah, it's the top of her sternum. And then on her clavicle. So you see that her muscle goes behind her ear and goes up here, and then that muscle's also right here, if you could see it, right? So this is what I'm looking at, right? So let's see if we can figure out, and we'll do it with a gray color. We'll do gray 1 first. And if we're looking at this, right, this is kind of like a triangle shape, right? So this is basically a triangle shape. So it's an L. I'm just drawing an L like that. So, and from the looks of it, it looks like this shape here, right? It's the middle of it. That's where her jaw ends, like the middle of her head. So let's do that. There, probably doesn't even have to be that pronounced. Then we got her ear. Got her neck muscles that goes from behind the ear. Sternomastoid. I don't know. And then the other one that goes down her neck from the left. You see? Then it starts really building out these shapes. So, you know, I already, and it's like a little triangle. It's pretty cool. But this is, once again, doesn't have to be perfect. This is just for reference. All right, so we got her neck, where her ear is possibly. And if we're looking at her ear too, right? Her ear stops at the bottom of her nose, roughly. You know, not perfect. But here's the ear. Here's the bottom of the nose. Almost a straight line. Do we have that here? Almost, right? So, you know what? It's pretty good. We just probably have to bring it down just a little bit. We'll go to edit mode. We'll grab it, bring it down just a tad. And now we're good. Okay. Another thing I want to see for reference is her eyes. So her eyes look like this is her eyebrows. And if we follow her eyebrows, it looks like it's just above the ear, so that means the top of her eye, really, at this point, is the top of the ear, right? So if we're doing the base of the nose here, right? So if we did the nose, and then the top of her ear. This ear's a little big, and I can just kind of tell. So I'm just gonna do where I think the eye is. There you go. And I'm just making like a V shape. If you can even see it, all I'm doing is like this. And then that's how I make it. So a little V shape. Nice and thin. Right? Right where the top of her ear is. Great. Now we're gonna look where maybe her lips are. Maybe I'm usually pretty bad at this. I need a lot of practice when it comes to this particular thing. But let's see if I can pull up something that potentially looks okay. That does not look okay. Also, as I'm doing this, I can see that the chin is basically gone. No chin. She has plenty of chin here. She even has a divot. So even with this should be higher. So I'll go to edit mode, and we will just play with it a little higher. Up in the nose, even though I just don't think that looks good anyway. Um, but let's keep trying. Let's go to erase. And it really should be connecting here. This should just be a V, right? So let's make sure that happens. Maybe I could do it without redoing this. Maybe I could just kind of like, her mouth is just open now. There we go. So that's pretty cool. Um, let's do some sculpting on this. Let's sculpt it. We'll sculpt it in so it kind of fits right along there. And let's also do some sculpting on the black itself. Maybe for this particular part. Okay, maybe not that much. We'll do that. Okay, cool. And then we'll go to edit. We'll also draw behind because I'm just gonna fill up the lips here. So filling that up, and we're filling that up. There. So now it looks like some lips. Another landmark stuff I want to remember. Because like once again, I'm just building out my reference here. Is sorry, gotta do some stretches, guys. Is the hairline? So let's see where the hairline is, and let's erase this thing, which kind of looks cool. It looks like a nose thing going on. So let's figure out this hairline and where it potentially lands here. And yeah, let's see where this hairline is. So I'm gonna get the lighter gray, just so we can really see it, and we're gonna try and follow this hairline. And if I'm following the hairline, it goes out. We do a scoopy. We go around the ear, and then it cuts around the neck, so like around the cylinder of the neck. Is it Bernard or no? Burned. How's it going, Burned? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me today. All right, we'll do a scoop. We go behind the ear, and then we go around the cylinder of the neck. And we'll make sure to just fill that. Oh, it's gone. And that's because I had it in this mode. Draw strokes back. We'll click on it. Click on this. I'm gonna hit my bracket key. Make sure it's on top. But yeah, keep on going. We will draw the head or the hair. We already drew the head, and we'll just fill in the rest. You know, fill in that part. We'll fill in the neck part. Thanks a lot. I'm fine. How about you? I'm doing well. We're doing a little drawing here. I'm drawing a character. Been streaming about 2.5 hours, and I was just doing the how to build up the base and start really thinking about the shape of the character, and basically make a guide for me so I can have fun designing. We know that there's usually like a hairline that goes out here. There we go. There we go. So we got the hair going on. I think I can probably edit this. So let's sculpt it. Let's go to sculpting mode. Sculpting is key here, guys. It's key. Shift. Nope, not that. Shift. And then we'll do some pushing. And then we can push. We could really start shaping this out to be... Oh, we forgot to select this one. Do some push. Bring it out. Push it in. Take off the overlay. And what I really want to get from this too is I want to get the hair part from the back. So let's go to draw, make sure this is selected, draw strokes on back. We're on the right color. And I want this little bit here. You'll see it. This little bit. So it really looks like it's wrapping around the head. So let's there we go. We'll draw on the front now. There you go, and it really looks like, because the middle of the head's like right here, right? So this is really the middle of the forehead. And it looks like her line goes and cuts in like that, like she has like a side part. So we will go into this gray and it'll cut here, right? Let's see if we could do a V shape. So something like this. Try to follow the round of the head. There we go. So there you go. We got a lot of landmarks for her head. Got landmarks for the hair, the nose. Maybe we'll do some eyebrows. So if we're looking at the nose, we'll see that the nose kind of goes up, which we could probably do here. So let's see if we can actually do that. We'll select the nose thing, the nose part. We'll go to sculpt. And we'll sculpt in maybe that scoop. And this is the first time maybe I'll use this twist tool. No, that's not gonna work. Let's just use push. Cannot see what it looks like. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna go back. Let's do this a different way. Let's go to edit mode. Go to vertices. Let's zoom in. Jiraj, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. How's it going? All right, so I think we're gonna get this. We're gonna grab it. Oh shoot. Grab it. I may even have to just draw this again. It's not doing what I want it to do. So let's see if I can fix it. I'm going to select the endpoints and hit F. So I have a bunch of points now selected in between. Now I feel like it should do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to roughly set this how I want it. So I think it curves out a little bit like this. That's kind of what I want, but I'm going to smooth it out a bit though. So let's go into line, sculpt, smooth. Oh, forgot to select this. And then smooth. Oh, this is probably going to be better. There you go. All right. So that kind of does that curve that I wanted. Maybe it's a little much. We'll do some eyebrows now. We'll do the second gray. Perhaps you have an advice for me. My last Blender version won't start and crash immediately. They only launch when I bypass the loading of the add-ons. Anyone else have experience with this? Burn, do you have any custom add-ons on? Do you have any add-ons that you added that are not part of just the baseline Blender? That'll be my first question for you. All right, so I'm looking at this eye that goes to the tip of the eye here. So let's like that. And we got an eyebrow like this. There we go. Maybe we'll grab the line here. All right. Got the eyebrows. At least roughly. Oh my god, no. Okay. At least roughly where I think they should be. Okay. We're getting somewhere good. So we got the baseline, we got where the chest is gonna be, we got the elbows, the belly button, the underwear line, the legs, where the kneecaps are, the feet, the legs. Burn, are there problems with custom add-ons? Well, if you have an add-on that maybe is not for the right for that version, like if you're on 2.3 alpha and you're using an add-on that maybe is not compatible with 2.3, there are add-ons that are badly written. There are add-ons that maybe your computer can't handle that will cause things to crash. So are you able to open up Blender if you were to uninstall all the add-ons and then install and then open up Blender without the add-ons? It does it open or does it still crash? Because when you say like, are there any problems with custom add-ons, is that these custom add-ons are made, I don't know where you get add-ons, but they're made from many different people. They don't come like officially. Well, there are a bunch of add-ons that come with Blender. So not the ones that come from Blender. Any add-ons that are added on top could potentially be causing your issues. So check if your Blender opens without any add-on that doesn't already come with Blender. And if that opens, then start adding in one add-on at a time of the ones that you want. And then we can start figuring out if that's what it is. Or it could be your computer, but this is just the first thing we should go with. Well, you should try out at least. Okay, so I think I got everything that I want. Belly button, legs. Burn. So when you install 2.92 fresh, that doesn't open. So what Windows do you have and what computer do you have? Like what type of computer? Graphics card, laptop? Like what type of graphics card is on the laptop or computer? How much RAM do you have? But can you open up 2.92 fresh, like without anything, downloaded straight from Blender? Okay, cool. So I think we got my shapes here. Here's my palette, my shapes. And I don't think I need anything else. Let me make sure. Okay. I don't think so. And now I think we can get rid of our reference that we were referencing here. We will go into edit mode. There's some things here I want to delete. I think I see them. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, cool. So I think I have everything I want here. And let me unlock everything, except maybe the palette. Go to edit mode, select it all, scale it. Put her in the center. Take away the reference lines. Um, let's get our camera. Let's go to the pass through. Put that in. Move our reference away so it's not interfering here. Let's add. Let me add in a background or a floor, I should say. So in under shapes, we'll go to. I'm just thinking a lot of umming in here, huh? We'll go to draw. I'm gonna go to this mode. I'm gonna see if I can draw a solid black. See if this looks good at all. Oh, make sure it's drawing in the back. See if this is any good. Makes the feet disappear, and I bet you if I do this gray, it makes the legs disappear. Hmm. What tone can we use? Would white work? But I mean, white's too strong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the feet. I'm gonna make these legs these legs white. I want to continue using these three tones here. So we'll go to this mode. We'll make it gray, 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 gray. Okay. Cool. I think that's looking pretty neat. This is just for reference, not the final colors. We'll get this gray. We'll get the darker gray. Now when we put the floor about halfway to the calf here, now looks like they're standing somewhere. You can always grab the tool here, scale it, maybe around there. We got a solid reference here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So now that we have our reference here, I'm gonna name this object stroke. We're gonna call it, like, you know, reference. We'll call this GP for grease pencil. GP grease pencil. I'm gonna make a new collection. I'm gonna keep this where I'm gonna keep all the grease pencil stuff in one folder. Put that in there. I'm gonna move this empty to camera. I'm gonna erase this collection and just call the camera collection like tools or utilities or something. Utilities. 2.92 crashes. As I said, if I bypass all add-ons, all versions are fine. My computer is an i. It says 6 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, should be no problem with it. Which add-ons are you bypassing? How many add-ons are you bypassing, and which add-ons are you bypassing? Because to me, it sounds like there's an issue with one of the add-ons. Or it could be Blender. I mean, I don't know. It could be any of this stuff. But we'll first approach it through the add-on that's potentially causing your crash. And also, not super great at debugging these issues with Blender. Blender's an ongoing thing, and I'm just trying to see if maybe we could figure it out. Okay, so we got our grease pencil reference, which is great. Loving how it's looking. And now I think I could start making some design choices, or start putting in some clothing here for this character. So on the right here, I have Pure Ref open, and we're just gonna go through the different references I have and see where we should start. I'm also going to get this grease pencil object, and you can see it's on that same plane, and I'm just gonna bring it a little back. So I'm hitting G, and then on the Y, I'll do it 0.1, hitting enter. I'm gonna make a new grease pencil object. So grease pencil blank. Now, I should have all the, this is where I'm going to do all my clothing. So I have my reference layer, put the grease pencil object in there, and I'm going to call this clothes for now. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to add in all our different materials. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, I'm missing one. 2. Okay. Now we are in a good place for this. George says, I mean, yeah, the process of elimination is always a pain. Yes. Troubleshooting any technical problem is a pain. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the tint of my reference here. And I'm going to add an effect. Maybe colorize. Is colorize good? Dual tone. Maybe we can dual tone. So yeah, we're gonna just try some different colors here. I just want it to stand out from what I'm doing. Maybe even do a blur. Would blur be funny? No. Yeah. Sorry, my Google Home just went off talking to me. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna blur it. Maybe just a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what the better choice is here. Maybe blur. Uh, what is there a modifier that's better than this color? I forget. Are there different colors? There are. Oh, there's tint. Okay, so let me take these off real quick. Let's see how this tinting works. It's interesting gradient here. Gradient's always fun. This may be all a little too extreme. I mean, so I'm definitely not doing tint. I will do. I will do. Sorry. I will do. I will save Control S, and I will do colorize, and I will do dual tone, and I will pick a color that makes more sense. Maybe like a blue color that's easy on the eyes. Maybe we'll go to 0.3. Yeah, you just have to like Josh says, I never tried the colorize effect. Didn't know you can colorize grayscale so easily with it. Yeah. Takes a little doing here, but I think it's pretty good. Oh, what's great is making it transparent. That's honestly more what I wanted right now. So I'm gonna make this transparent. Maybe 0.2. Then we'll go to my close. We'll go to draw. And then before I start, let me use the bathroom. 1 second, guys. And while we wait, I'm gonna put on some artwork to scroll by. I'll be right back. Taking the potty break. BRB. I'm back. Burn, thank you for your ideas. It's 2:15 in Germany. That means bedtime. Ah, well, good night. Good night, Burned. Hope you have a great night. All right. Let's get back at it again here. All right. So let's go. I got it. I got my reference. I got it transparent, and I need that because I'm going to be drawing over it. I'm gonna go to the filter here, make sure that this like little button selected. I like it. I like a lot. Make it selectable, and I will do it so I'll never select it again. Done. And I'll also make it so it never renders again as well. Okay, so I'm on close. Little pencil here is on there. So let's look at my reference here, right? So some of my reference, and let me just bring this up here. I have it all organized here, right? So you know this type of character is going to have like this type of hair, like two buns. It's like she could be kind of like a spider type, docked octopus type of gal. In these hair buns, she's gonna have like nano robots that rebuild her suit and stuff, like nanites, like Iron Man, and they're all stored in these like top buns and stuff. So that's the type of hair we're going for. That's what this reference is mainly for. For the shoes, something like, you know, scaled up like this. I feel like it's nice and webby. And I put these boots here because I don't know. I like this belt stuff going on, but I don't know. This is more what I'm looking for. Um, for the hands, like maybe she has some sort of like rope or string stuff that wraps around her arm. And like maybe she can strangle somebody or hook on things or things like that. I like these shoes because it makes me think that maybe if she was wearing clothing that was like sticky or that would like um you know stick to the wall, this is what it'll look like. It reminds me of like the lizards or the geckos and stuff that like attach themselves to walls. So that's like a cool looking element here, like these like bottom of the shoes. So maybe I can attach these flat foot shoe stuff with um these flat shoe stuff with this like sticky stuff. You could just lower the opacity if you want, just for the reference, instead of putting the effect on top, right? Uh, yeah, I can just lower the Drudge. I could just lower the opacity for the layers and stuff, but I have like the shape layers and the ground layer on two separate layers, so I'll have to go to each individual layer and hit opacity and bring it down. So if I had a complex reference where I had like 5 layers, I would have to go on each and individually, you know, go down and lower the opacities. So to avoid that, I just use the modifier and use the transparency and lower it. So I lower it as a whole object since I'm drawing on a different object. That's why I'm doing that. And your second question. Yeah, and these gloves, it kind of reminds me of like the Spider-Man gloves. Like if she had webbing, maybe there's something technical, or she has like a cool watch. That'll be a cool thing. Do you know how Blender renders multiple grease pencil objects? Like when is one object displayed in front of another if they're both used in the 2D placement? So that's another good question. So that's why in my reference garage, or in my grease pencil object, I actually brought my, if you see the distance here, I actually brought the reference 0.1 millimeters back, and my clothes are gonna sit on top. And I'm doing that to avoid any issue. I haven't tested it. Maybe it knows how to do it, but I literally move it like an increment in 3D space into the front. So that's what I did for that. Let's see. It's down here. Okay. So I have these like hands going. I like the watch placement and stuff. Since she's gonna be a spider, I have like these boosters, like maybe she can boost herself up, and then from the back spine part, that's where like this would be. So maybe not the edges here, just his backpack, and that's where the spider legs would come out. And I have some spider leg reference to, you know, guide the electronic bug stuff, like the parts of a spider, where it should probably come out, at what angles and stuff. Simplified version. This is a reference of like maybe the top clothing that she can possibly wear. I kind of like the belt going over. This is like more of like a realistic, practical looking suit. I like it because, maybe it's like a space suit. So that's why I have this space suit here, where she has the helmet that goes around the neck. So maybe we can play with elements of that. And this is cool. This backpack has like arms and it has a gun for it to shoot behind her. And I think that's kind of what I'm going for, but with spider arms and stuff. It looks like the booster parts with the arrow here shows that she boosts out through the back here. And I really like those elements. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The elements of the boosters, the gun, the hands holding the gun, which is pretty cool. I like these little head fin wings. I'm okay. I'm lukewarm on the shape of the helmet, but I think it's cool. So that's pretty cool elements there. I think the leg element's pretty cool too. Maybe my character can have something similar, or I don't know, some sort of boosting mechanism there. Cool. And these are just some character concepts that she could potentially look like. This is the overhead thing, this shoulder pad thing. That's what's going on here. I like the wristbands. I like that her thumb doesn't have a glove. I think that's pretty interesting. These belt situation for her to have guns is pretty cool. I like the V shape, and like this looks like not even like a shirt. It looks like something that's like more hard, so to protect her from stuff. I like her carrying this thing. I like these knee pads. That's particularly what I like. It's pretty cool. Same thing with this. This is just more for the shoulder pads. I like this cool jacket look. So it looks like she's not just a super spy, but she's stylish or something. These are some other characters for more inspiration. The cloak is fun. The scarf is fun. For all these references, I'm really just picking one thing that I like, right? One or two things, and just having it as a reference. There we go. I like this scarf. I like this middle part. I like the side pouch thing here. It being asymmetrical is pretty cool too. For this one, I like that her fingers are like mechanical. And maybe she's like also a computer whiz or something. But, she's like a spider surfing the web or something. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty much it. And I don't know what's happening here. What is this? Just like some plastic that just hangs off, hangs loose. And then this is for like the future, but if I were to draw like little nanites that rebuild her, like this is how, big, or what they could potentially look like little tiny spider robots that crawl out of her hair buns out into, to repair her shoulders or her armor and stuff. And if she had like a helmet on, maybe having some cameras or sensors or something in the shape of like how actual spiders would have it, I think would be a neat idea. Maybe having the lights in some sort of orientation that mimics this. So that's all my references that I'm using. So let's zoom it back down. And let's work on a little bit of everything at a time. Okay. So, let's not work on the head or the face or anything like that. Let's just start working on some clothing elements. So let's see if we could figure out, and we're gonna iterate through a bunch of this stuff, so we're not gonna finish this today. But I think this is a great start for where I want to go. Anyway, so let's figure out which one of these shirts I like, right? Like, I do like this neck thing going on. I like the belts. And I like this top half. Looks like there's seams here. So I'm looking at the seams of these clothes to see how it goes. The neck kind of furrows out. Goes to the back. And it looks like it's in 3 segments. The shoulder part, the part that connects to the shirt, and then just another triangular part. Because it goes across and stuff. So, let's just have this reference here. And let's make sure my streams are still live. Excellent connection, great. And Twitch is still going. There we go. And none of the streams have got knocked off, so that's a plus. Okay. So let's start a couple ways. So I could do this the way that I was building the shapes of the character, which is all fine and dandy, and I probably will end up doing that. But let's see if I can sketch, right? Using Blender. It's kind of hard to sketch for me in Blender because it's vector based, but we will deal. So we'll create a new layer. We'll call this, sketch, and we'll call it shirt. Sketch shirt. .000. Okay. So let's go to draw and let's do it a different way. Now I forgot to add one more material. Let's add in a solid stroke, and that's what we're gonna use. Okay. Oh, wrong one. So I gotta go to the pencil. Let me make some room here so we can see. And let's see if sketching will be a fun way to do this. Maybe it won't be. Sometimes, like I said, I'm not too good with sketching in Blender. So I want this stroke, this black stroke, to be more apparent. So I'm gonna make it a vibrant color for now, or something a little bit more vibrant. Let's do like, maybe a blue color that's a little bit more appealing. There we go. Okay. You can kind of see this a lot better. So let's see if we can do this with sketching. So let's get this cylinder here. So what I'm thinking about this is that it's just a cylinder. So it should just be kind of like something simple, right? And then it goes with the flow of the body, right? So it should go down here, and then it should go up and over, right? So let's do the first half, the top. Okay, and then we'll do something that goes, and it looks like here in the reference, it goes just below the clavicle. The clavicle, or the sternum here, just below that. So that's where we're aiming for. So we'll go up. Go. All right. There we go. And it looks like in the reference, there's two parts. There's this square part here, and then the shoulder part. And the shoulder part should start right here. So let's start the square part. And the square seam, right? It goes at the end of the collar. So it should be right here. Oh, but first we need to have it wrap around. So let me use our tools that Blender has. Go to sculpt mode. We'll select the one that we want, and let's sculpt it into place. So let's go. Let's choose both of them. Hold shift. Got both of our lines here. Let's sculpt. And bring it into shape. Oh my god, I didn't choose them all. Let's choose them all. Here we go. There we go. Hit push. I gotta go to sleep too. Mind shutting down. Have a great time on the rest of the stream. See you soon. Jiraj, take care. Always a pleasure you stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. And so late, always. Take care, Jiraj. Have a good night. Alright, so I'm messing with the collar here. Shaping it up to what I want it to be. Here we go. Okay. Let's go to back to draw mode. And it looks like in our reference, we have the line that goes out like down and then across her chest. And it only goes through the top. So we're not going to pass to the bottom, right? So we're going to go... It looks like it passes right past her neck. So right past here. So this is what the line it would be. We'll do something like this. Oops. Something like this. There we go. And this scoops in underneath. Same thing. Goes all the way around her body. But we want it to be right at the center of the chest, so that's what I'm paying attention to. So here's the center of her clavicle. So it starts from here. So maybe this line can go a little further up. Maybe there's our line. Okay, and then our stitch ends, it starts right at the end of the collar. I think we see it right here. So there's our stitch. And then the shoulder is the next stitch. So the shoulders, it goes all the way around the shoulder. So it should go around here. And this kind of squeezes out to here. So there we go. And that automatically creates our little triangle shape that we have here for the buckle. And I already need to do some shaping here. So what I want to do is I want to go to sculpt. And what's the issue is here is that this is too long for me. So we'll hit push. And we'll push these down a little further. Maybe smooth them out a bit too. Go back to draw mode. We'll make sure that there's a... Oop! Deleted everything. Make sure there's a line. All right. So there's our line going. Got our triangle. This is where that clip would be. What's interesting is that I think I have a tool that will make this easier. So if I made just a snapping clip, just to see what it looks like. Let's just make the square. And I choose the cutter tool, and I'll cut right in between there. There we go. So it looks pretty good there. It looks like the other side now. We go to the draw mode. It only has the seam that goes. I think so. I think it only has a seam for the shoulder. So let's make that seam go right there. But overall, the seam goes up to the neck pad or the neck collar thing. And goes down into into the arm. We'll have to work with that. From what it's looking like here, my center line, if I'm following the center line here from the clavicle, so something like that. I think we got the center pretty good. Just think I just need some sculpting tools here. So let's choose my lines. Go, we'll use some sculpting. Look how easy it is just to move these things around. Okay. And looking at my reference, it looks like there could be some room underneath the shoulder here. So we'll just make sure that it connects. That. And I can't really tell how long these sleeves are. So I'm just gonna make them short. So let's make this sleeve short. I'm thinking about the cylinder, right, of this. So let's make them just above, you know, the just above the elbow. So this is gonna go down to here. And let's see if I can use my cutter tool to get rid of these like little stragglies. Let's hope it works. It does. There we go. Got my shoulder going on there. And I think this has to look a little bit more, because it kind of looks like her hand would be tilted up, so it'll be more like this. And then maybe I can draw some lines there. Okay, cool. So, alright, so I have that. Obviously, she's gonna be wearing something underneath that. Sorry, my Google Home's going crazy again. Anyway, so we got the basis of like what that top pad probably looks like. I guess I don't want this. Definitely don't want that. So what I want more or less is, I don't know, maybe this like centerpiece here. I don't know what it's called, a belt, a thick belt. Or maybe something that looks like this, where it looks like more technical. So she's wearing this top piece while she's wearing like a more technical ab piece or something like that. And it'll end right probably below her belly button. Or let's see what else we got here. Or something that's like more geometrically shaped. So let's see if any of that will track or read. Let's go with this plate here. Also, let's make our reference image much smaller. Okay. So I'm thinking about her obliques, which is the sides of her muscles here. I'm thinking about her abdominis rectus, her abs. I'm thinking about her obliques on this side as well. That she's covering up with her arm, so that may be a little hard to read. So let's see if we can figure something out here. Like, what if we do something where... Okay, so I'm going to use a different solid stroke. So we have solid stroke. I'm going to name this .000. I'm going to make a new material. I'm going to do .000 as well. And then hit this little key here, which is add new material. That makes it a .001. Then I can change the color of this and not have to worry. And maybe work with a different color. Just so I can start seeing the separation here. So maybe we'll use... I don't know, a different hue. So we can always switch these colors afterwards. Okay. So let's see if we can figure out some sort of thing here. So our lines are going across. I'm paying attention to the belly button, making sure there's the same amount. So maybe it goes something like... So it should go up and around, right? Boom. But it should be more angled. There we go. Same thing with this. It should go up. I guess we'll lose it there. We obviously have this part here. I don't know. Maybe this... And this is the challenge, guys. This is the challenge I wanted to get to today. I'm not good with drawing these clothes. I'm gonna need a lot of practice here with how this even works. Like this. Making these pads here. Maybe there's like a line. Go. I guess what I could do is I could take away the reference and see how this is looking. Um, let's bring this hue so it could make more sense. Let's just make it darker. There we go. Got her obliques connected. This goes up, connects to the side. This connects here. All right, maybe let's see what we could do for pants. This is just gonna be the first run through. See what we could do here. Should they just be normal pants? Should they be like geometric as well? I guess if we're going with the whole theme, it would be geometric as well. Cut out the sides there. These just look like geometric pants as well. A lot of geometric pants. All right. So let's see if we can do that. So I think the one I liked from here was these pants. Let's do these pants. Something like this. So maybe we could do the same thing, right? Where we're getting the pants, it goes down to the middle of the thigh and then goes in, right? So let's go down and then scoop out. I'm just doing some circles. Now I'm just playing around. We'll see. Maybe this should just be black. Maybe. Let's make them black. Just different shades of black. Okay. Alright, so we got those points. This is not looking at the right angle to me. So maybe if we do some editing, we can fix that. So like that. We'll grab it, rotate it, and just put it in a position where I think it would make more sense. Something like that. We erase the things we think are silly. Let's erase all of this. And let's start up. There you go. Draw. Okay. So we're getting here. We're drawing these pads. Those are where it should be. This would go all the way across. Stop there. Gonna have to do some research on how to draw these parts. All right, let's keep on going. I'm just gonna draw it from there. Honestly, I'm spending a lot of time thinking about this. I just need to go with the flow. Go with the flow. So we'll follow the leg, you know. There we go. Maybe I'll erase that. That shouldn't line up. This should be in front, so it should be really more above, right? From our reference, it looks like she has a belt going on. So let's see if we can figure out if we could do a belt. Right. Has a little belt buckle, so we can just draw a square. Because we're just trying to feel out what works, right? We'll try it a different way. We'll cut out those middle parts. Go. The seam that goes to the side here, maybe we'll see. The seam for this one will be in the inner leg, so maybe it'll go through here. These knee pads will be cool, so let's see if we can attach them. So this will be the knee pad here. Alright, that we'll get the cutter tool. Cutter tool is so neat. Just cut that out. Draw the next knee pad here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Connect the ends. We're just seeing how this looks, right? That's how we're doing. We keep going. I guess that's where the boots would be, right? So if we were to look at our reference, what I did want was some like, you know, like high looking boots or like this like tie up thing. So let's see if we can figure that out. Maybe the knee pads don't work, right? With this design. Or maybe they're real short. Let's try short first. And it looks like they just go all the way down. What's a front-looking version of this? Looks like a bunch of triangles, like teeth going at the side. They're all connected with a ladder. Right? Let's see if that translates. Let's draw the leg. Looks like we'll get this. Oh man, I should just do the teeth and then edit it afterwards. Alright, maybe I'll go to edit mode, grab it, duplicate it, S negative 1x. So boom, perfectly reversed. We'll rotate it, grab it, grab this one, grab it, put it to the top here, grab this one, grab it to the top, this one, grab it to the top. Okay. Then we will go back to draw. We'll hit save. Got to do that a while back. It looks like this is just a ladder. So let's just see if this even translates well. We're just gonna... Right, and this would go up to like where the toe would be, right? So it'd be like something like this. This would wrap around the ankle and then grab the bottom, I think. I don't know how I don't think these are all separate things they'll learn. Learning how to draw like shoes in the right orientation. Learning how to draw this type of shoe. Like this. Let's see what it looks like without the reference. So this is going somewhere, you know. This is looking pretty decent up here. Let's keep going. Same thing here. We're gonna draw the legs. Draw S. And we'll connect the legs here. Might as well. And we'll make sure that this is also connected. So this only looks weird because we don't know. We don't know that these feet are here. So we'll do this. Alright, so that looks a little better. I think I like the legwork stuff, but we will see. Obviously, this is just my first sketch here. Sketch 001 shirt. This is just gonna be sketch 00. That's 000. Hit save. This one. I think the issue here is that this foot is supposed to be a little rotated. So let me see if I can fix that issue. And by rotated, I mean this design here is not matching up with the orientation of what the leg is supposed to be. So we got this. We'll grab it. We'll bring it a little to the center. And maybe shearing it will help. And then rotating it. Shearing it, rotating. Okay, so we're gonna do it the other way. I sheared it the wrong way. Shearing it, rotating. Smaller? By the X? Oh, am I shearing it the wrong way? That's probably true. Alright, let's see. I got a better idea. Let's see if this add-on is on here. File. Preferences. Grease pencil tools is on here, but oh, since I'm using 2.93, oh no, it's here. Great. So I'm gonna select what I think needs to be disformed. So we'll do this. Shift. Okay. Grab it. Nope. Didn't get it all. There we go. We'll do box deform. I'm gonna hit the number 4, 3. The number 3. Maybe just the number 1. And we're gonna deform it this way. There we go. And now we can start shearing this in a way where it looks like there we go. Maybe go to sculpt mode. Hit F. Bring it over. Maybe got a little squish to it. I think that's my issue here. Go to edit mode, grab it. Go to sculpt. Bring it so it's closer towards the center of the foot. Okay. I feel like it still doesn't read. Doesn't read like this is a sandal part, especially this part here. So let's see if I can fix that. Go to that, we'll go to edit, delete this. So what I want on my shoes here, let's see. So really, these should really be going back here. We're gonna erase this. And then we can add in some thickness to this shoe here. Let me draw a lot closer. Once again, this is just a sketch. I don't know why I'm getting so particular here. Really, this should just go right like this, and then we have one that sticks out. This is kind of reading better. Like, we gotta put these lines in here. There we go. I mean, maybe not. Let's see what this looks like. This reads a lot better. Maybe the line should be the other way. Let's see if that works.